Hey guys, our reality is changing every day and getting more and more strange. It is definitely more crazy than fiction. You cannot make this stuff up. I've got something so crazy to share with you today. It was brought to my attention by one of my listeners just last week, and it was about the opening ceremonies of the Gotthard train tunnel in Switzerland. And I believe that the luciferian elites and the world leaders are being in our face now. They are really showing their plans in plain sight. They want to usher in their God, who I believe is coming very soon, the Antichrist. And, we just cannot make this stuff up. If you see the footage, I was floored myself when I saw, basically all out pagan rituals, satanic stuff, occultic imagery, all kinds of things taking place. We've been talking a lot about even Baphomet and how he seems to be showing up in so many movies and in such, with the transgender thing and, all the sexual perversions and, the movies, TV shows. This is getting just out of control, and I believe that we are on the verge of something huge happening. And I just want to go through the pictures that I took from screenshots of the videos that was seen on YouTube. I couldn't find as many images as I wanted to show you on just by doing a Google search, so I took screenshots. I hope that it won't take too long to go through all of them. I know there are many people out there that are way better than I am at decoding the symbolism, and I don't claim to be an authority in these things, and so I would encourage you to look into these things, and whatever meanings they mean to you, then great. I just want all of us to be aware of what is happening and the major occultic imagery that is going on, and this is basically my feeble attempt to decode some of these things. And so I just hope that you just hang in with me here. Some things to be aware of just before we start is that CERN is located also in Switzerland, not that far, I'm sure, from where this train tunnel is. And we all know, who are watching CERN, that, you've got the 666 right in the logo. We know that CERN, the CEOs and, directors of CERN are quoted as saying that they're trying to open a portal, they're trying to open black holes, they're basically trying to open the pit, I believe, of hell. And they're, it's like they want to bring on, literally destruction and death on the earth. So that's something to be aware of. You'll see in these ceremonies a lot of Wicca, a lot of nature worship. You can see very clearly who these people's God is. You'll see a lot of Baphomet imagery, Cernunnos, all that kind of stuff. But be aware that this is what's you're going to be seeing in these images. Even if you go to some Wicca websites, you will see, a lot of pentagram imagery, symbolism. Even for Wicca itself, they don't even believe in Satan. They believe they're free from religion. They don't judge, they don't sacrifice living things or worship Satan. In fact, they don't even recognize the existence of Satan. Their religion is based on nature, and that everyone is responsible for their own actions. Peace, love, and tolerance for everyone should be encouraged everywhere. Okay, so this is what Wicca is all about. They claim they don't even believe in Satan, but the funny thing is, if you see some of the things that they say, they don't believe they're evil, they don't believe they harm or seduce people, they claim that they're not dangerous, that they're ordinary people like you and me, but I beg to differ. What I find real interesting is that the Wiccans have great reverence for the earth and for their goddess and her consort, the horned god. Okay, and this is something we're going to see a lot in this, in this opening ceremony, this horned god figure, which we've been talking about a lot in previous videos about the Baphomet imagery that seems to be showing up in so many places. Okay, so these are who the Wiccans truly worship. They worship the earth, they worship Gaia, which is another term for Mother Earth worship. Okay, so Gaia is a rival of paganism that rejects Christianity. It considers Christianity its biggest enemy and views the Christian faith as its only obstacle to a global religion centered on Gaia worship and uniting all life forms around the goddess Mother Earth. Okay, and this is even the same stuff that Al Gore and all these climate change people use. So what is the cult of Gaia? It is basically a rehashed, modernized version of the paganism condemned by God in the Bible. Okay, science, evolution theory, and space age mentality have given it a new face and made it sound more credible to a modern world. But it is the same paganism in all of its evils. Okay, and if we go to, like we showed in previous videos in Ezekiel 8, it talks about the abominations that God was so furious at Israel for doing, and I believe it had to do with some of this stuff. Okay, talking about greater abominations in temple, wicked abominations, man-worshipping idols, weeping for Tammuz, as we spoke about the whole Easter nonsense, and then worshipping the sun toward the east, the sun god Nimrod nonsense that they do around Christmas time, and then how he even makes a reference to putting the branch in their nose. I believe this is definitely a reference by God to the nature, Gaia, Wicca worship, all that kind of nonsense. If we go to Jeremiah 10, we'll see that he talks about the same thing that Jeremiah says, do not learn the way of the Gentiles, do not be dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the Gentiles are dismayed at them, for the customs of the peoples are futile, for one cuts a tree from the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They decorate it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and hammers, so that it will not topple. They are upright like a palm tree, and they cannot speak. They must be carried, because they cannot go by themselves. Do not be afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, nor can they do any good. So again, this is showing this whole nature worship, cutting down trees, worshiping parts of trees and nature and all this kind of stuff. God clearly condemns these things, but this is exactly what you're going to see in this as I start showing the pictures. Of course, Cernunnos is very, very well known to the Wiccans, the two-horned god. As you can see, so much of imagery always depicting him with two horns. Okay, you'll always see this Cernunnos imagery. There you go, there's good old Pan again. Okay, so you got a lot of that stuff going on. Then there's even a description here for Cernunnos. Is a Celtic god associated with sexuality, fertility, the hunt, and the underworld. He was worshipped by the Iron Age Celts all across Europe as late as the 1st century, and his worship must have begun centuries before that. Okay, so you can see his meaning is actually the horned one. Okay, so I believe that this is exactly what they are worshiping, Cernunnos, Baphomet, which is basically a strange, resemblance to Baphomet, go figure. Okay, so Baphomet is an enigmatic goat-headed figure found in several instances of history in the occult, from the Knights Templar to the Freemasons, all this kind of stuff. And of course, as we go down, which I've shown this article before, you will see Cernunnos. There you go. Okay, same thing, the horn god, nature god, whatever you want to call him. The Wiccans worship him. There's Pan, same association with Baphomet. Cernunnos, whatever you want to call it, the horn god, there he is. Okay, you've got this deity. This, again, Robin Goodfellow, all these kinds of things, I believe, are associated with Baphomet. Okay, so this is what you're going to see in a lot of this stuff. So another thing you're going to see is a lot of red, black, and white imagery. I believe red, black, and white is code for the New World Order. I mean, if we look at, we'll see a lot of this imagery in a lot of movies, but even if you look at flags, of course, one of the most famous red, black, and white flags was the Nazi flag. Okay, same colors, red, black, and white. All right, we see that, all the time, with in the world, with the Pope, with Catholic rituals and all this kind of stuff. So we can truly see what is going on here. So let's take a look at some of these pictures. It was definitely a party for the elites. Here's the opening scene of the footage where you got, really not just a handful of people compared to, the rest of the world. Really, only certain people were obviously invited to this. They know what is going on here. The whole ritual starts with, a multi-faith, interfaith ceremony. You've got the Muslim, you've got the Jewish person, you've got, I'm not sure who the other two are. Then, of course, you've got the Catholic. And what has he got in his hand? He has got a branch that he's dipping in water. The branch that we just spoke about. When you go to Ezekiel 8, and the Lord said, they put the branch to their nose. It's interesting what is going on there. So he's taking this branch, dipping it in the water, and then he's sprinkling it over the tracks. Okay, so definitely occultic paganism going on here, done by a Catholic and all the other faiths that are represented there. So you can see, what is behind all this. Then you've got, a speaker that comes to, address the crowd. Of course, look at the symbolism for Alps transit, good old triangle. You've got another guy wearing, looks like pretty much Freemasonry garb, red and white and black. You're going to see a lot of duality also as well as we go on. As we keep going to the other pictures, you'll see, I found this shot real interesting. It looks, fairly normal until you see the guy's staff. Two-horned goat on his staff. Okay, it looks like he's also dressed in pretty much Illuminati Freemason garb. Okay, so again, you can see what is going on. As you looked at the footage from RT, you've got the one speaker in black, another one in white. This one was done on the inside of the tunnel. This one was done on the outside of the tunnel. So again, the duality, black and white, dark and light. Okay, all this kind of stuff taking place. Even the train, you've got, the New World Order, Nazi colors, red, white, and black, go figure. All right, then as the ceremony starts, you've got the white horse being brought in. Now we know from Revelation 6, the first seal, that the white horse represents Antichrist coming, Nimrod with the bow and the crown. I believe this is symbolizing that. You've got the white horse. You've got, again, you've got the red, black, and white colors showing the red, black, and white imagery. Another thing that caught my eye is the black and yellow that was shown. The video that I did on the 923/239, symbolically could be plutonium, a nuke that could go off very soon, the whole 923, and we will actually see that 923 in another shot later on, which I will show you. But again, white horse symbolism to me, showing that, Antichrist, Nimrod is coming very soon. Then it starts off with, workers coming in, seemingly railroad workers. And if you just look at their faces, they're just like, totally zombies. They have no expression, no emotion. They just come in, come stomping in. And again, no expression, just really bizarre. Again, you can see no expression on these people's faces. Then, the scene keeps going, and you've got some of these people hanging in the rafters. It almost looks like they're in bondage kind of thing. And then it starts getting more weird. Then they start disrobing. They start kind of climbing all over each other. To me, I'm not sure whether this could be depicting sexual perversions or orgies and all that kind of stuff. We know that with Baal worship, it's always associated with all kinds of orgies, sexual perversions, whether it's, homosexual perversions, heterosexual perversions, all this kind of stuff is taking place. So you've got this happening in this opening ceremony. Then you've got this bizarre winged creature that shows up, which to me could be Lucifer, the fallen angel, the fallen cherub with the wings and the bizarre, big head kind of thing, showing up. And again, these people still in bondage, looks like, again with this, bizarre angelic figure. And of course, you've got the good old crowd, watching. Everything looks fine. It seems perfect normal. You got even big smiles. They're watching this as if it's, no big deal. It seems like totally normal to them because they obviously, or at least probably realize what is going on. Then, of course, look who shows up. The good old goat god, horn god himself starts showing up amongst all these, hay bales, or I think depicting nature, because, of course, he's the nature god. All right. Then you've got, much more dark stuff coming. You've got all out, I believe, an occultic ritual about to take place. You've got all these people carrying goat heads with the two horns. Goat head here, two horns. All a goat head here, over there, okay? And then it looks like they're depicting it taking place out in nature. You've got then this Baphomet character, of course, again showing up and, ready for his ritual. You've got, people climbing up these things that also are wearing horns. You can see one there. You can see the good old Baphomet character there. If I move myself out of the way, you can see another one wearing horns. Okay, so a lot of stuff going on here, guys. A lot of stuff going on. Okay, and then if we keep going, then when I found this one interesting too, this person covered in all black, I think this is a reference to the black goo. Okay, this is something that we see a lot in movies and TV shows, even in this Lady Gaga video. She's crawling out of the black goo and with the crown on her head, to me symbolizing Antichrist, the devil's blood almost, or basically the devil that's coming very soon. So, something that I think is being depicted in this, particular shot. Then here you go. You've got people wearing black. They're white people, but they're wearing black, again showing the duality, carrying in a white lamb. Okay, the black and the white, light versus dark, darkness and light. You've got them carrying sticks, just like what we just read in Ezekiel and Jeremiah about cutting down trees and branches and worshiping them, and all this nature worship that is going on. I believe they're depicting an all-out ritual. If you look at the faces of these people, totally stone-faced, no emotion. They look like zombies. Okay, then, again, more imagery, as this ritual continues, you've got, again, more goat faces, the goat heads shown all over the place. Again, the Baphomet character himself. You've got people carrying, constantly this two-horned imagery coming. Again, uplifting, looks like they're about to sacrifice this, this baby lamb, okay? So, again, just totally, again, stone-faced, just crazy stuff that is going on here. Again, you've got more girls wearing, putting on this two-horn stuff on their heads, again, depicting the god that I believe is coming very soon. Then you've got them literally dancing around, okay, this Baphomet character. They're making a circle around this guy, dancing around him, all right? Then you've got, of course, what are they wearing? All kinds of nature stuff on their heads, okay, totally, to me, just such darkness and evil. Okay, they're really showing who their allegiance is to here, this nature, this Wicca, this, nature god, this Baphomet character that they worship, and they're all looking on with these, stone faces, just look at their faces, no expression, no emotion, just, basically in awe, waiting for their god to come. This, to me, is a major ritual to me that is taking place again in this opening ceremony, but then all of a sudden, it switches to like a very, lighthearted, merry kind of scene. They're all partying, they're all jumping, they're all dancing. But of course, what's in the, up above is the sun, to me depicting Nimrod, the sun god. But they're all dancing and jumping. And, I think here we went from being a very dark kind of scene to a very light, merry-hearted. You're seeing the dark and the light, the duality yet again. Okay, then you're seeing, more people being brought in. I think they're depicting elites and all these kind of, big characters coming in showing, oh yeah, this is a party, everything is fine. Nothing to worry about. Don't worry about this. Let's just party like this. And again, of course, in front of their sun god, you've got, and guess who else shows up? They depict the Pope. okay, with flanked by two nuns. He's wearing his good old Dagon fish hat here, waving to the crowd. Okay, I believe the elites know that the Pope is basically, in charge of all this, that all this occultic nonsense is centered in Rome, the pagan, mystery Babylon, whatever you want to call the Pope, or whatever you want to call the Roman Catholic Church. I believe they're all behind this stuff that's going on. You've got, of course, even though this is a merry scene, you've got people laughing and, dancing, but of course you've still got good old Baphomet character, okay, the horn god, the two-horn god, showing up there. He's almost literally in every scene, so we can see who is really controlling this. You've even got, they in this funny scene, they show, they do this funny thing where they're pushing this guy in his chair, but of course, what is on the truck, apart from all the other nature stuff? You've got, yet again, the goat head with the two horns, all right? And then again, you keep going, and you've got Baphomet here dancing with a woman, okay? And we're going to see more of that later on. It gets much more perverted than that later on, but of course, Baphomet there dancing with a woman, I believe showing the devil dancing with his whore, okay, dancing with Mystery Babylon, really. Okay, the beast, I think, could be symbolizing the woman, the harlot riding the beast kind of thing. And, of course, there's the good old sun god stuff going on. All right, then as we go down, you'll see, I believe this symbolizes the 69. Okay, as we've been shown in many times, even the capstone on the pillars of Freemasonry has the 69, the capstone, and they're doing this right in front of the sun. So I believe that they're depicting the 69, the two individuals here, the head at the feet, and this one's head is at the feet. So I believe this is depicting the 69, the number of the crossing, or the capstone that I believe is coming very soon. I believe that's what they're depicting over here. Even as you look, as we keep going, you'll see yet again these two in front of the sun, the 69, I believe that they're showing. Even almost similar to the Red Bull, ad with the two bulls kind of facing each other. Also, maybe could even be symbolizing a collision from CERN, kind of colliding with each other in front of the sun. But I think it more symbolizes the 69, the number of the crossing, the number of the capstone that I believe is coming for these people very soon. Now, what I found real interesting about this scene is, yet again, you've got the Pope, they're showing the Pope with the two nuns, this scene is about to end. But if you look at the license plate, okay, it shows a 923, and I know it might seem kind of funny in this picture, but if you go down to the next, picture, we can clearly see you've got the 9 right there, you've got the 2 there, and I believe there's a 3. Okay, so 923. So I believe they, just like I mentioned before, with when the black horse came with the carriage had the red, white, and black colors, but it also had the black and yellow, which is code to me for plutonium. 239 being the atomic number for plutonium. I believe they're showing something again happening, possibly, the destruction, a nuke coming very soon. But obviously, time will tell. We will find out very soon, this plan of theirs. But I believe they're showing a lot of stuff here. All right, then, of course, they get on the train. They're all wearing this nature nonsense all over themselves. Again, to me, definitely depicting Wicca and witchcraft and them celebrating Gaia worship, nature worship, and they've got it on their heads. To me, that is also symbolizing mind control. We've seen in a lot of movies this, when they're wearing like a cage or something around their heads, it actually depicts, mind control. Yet again, you've got the Pope waving to everyone with his, pagan Dagon hat. And I believe, again, the Pope of Rome, the Roman Church, is definitely behind probably the majority of this nonsense that is going on, all the occultic nonsense. They also started showing this head of this woman, and she was wearing, there's a red kind of gown behind her, but it's almost like showing someone beheaded. I'm wondering whether that's an illusion or an illustration of the Christians that are going to be beheaded, when all this stuff starts, when their God comes and all the persecution that starts. Are they going to start beheading Christians? I mean, the Bible makes reference to that definitely people are going to be beheaded for their faith. But, as we go on, you're going to see more people wearing the nature nonsense on their heads, the Wicca, the nature worship, all that stuff going on. Here they're getting on the train. You've got, again, the Baphomet goat head sitting on one of the pillars of the train, okay, as they're going towards the light. And interestingly, how the sun is there, okay, the sun god Nimrod, they're going into the light of Lucifer, I would say this depicts, okay, as they keep going. Again, you've got them on the train, with their headgear, which to me is, definitely denoting mind control / Wicca, nature, Gaia worship, okay. As they keep going, there they go, going into the light, going toward the sun god Nimrod, okay, going into the light, the illuminated ones going towards the light of Lucifer. Then there you go. There's his head again. Now they've got this head, being brought up as they're about to do something with it. You can see the long flowing gown coming from this head. I believe this is depicting something really interesting. You've got people all of a sudden jumping and dancing with these gleeful looks on their faces, almost to me very evil, an evil kind of glee, an evil kind of delight on these people's faces. Again, they're all like screaming and yelling and all happy about something. And see, this man is about to put this beheaded, or the head of this woman onto this real woman. So I think they're really depicting something here as they put this head over this other woman. I believe they are depicting Mystery Babylon, the harlot. Okay, look at this as they keep going. They're parading this. To me, this woman has become the harlot, and I think that this is what they're showing, going towards the sun, going towards the illumination, the light. More people are coming under the harlot religion, and they're all dancing and shouting for joy. Yet again, more people, they're just jumping and dancing for joy. They're so happy about these things. Okay, so it looks like it's almost to me depicting like the mystery religions all coming together, and they're going to have a one world religion and a peace and harmony and all this nonsense that they love to talk about. Then as they go out, as their train comes out, the other train that we showed before comes together. So I think they're depicting something. You've got the harlot there again. You've got all the people now running out for the next part of the ritual of the opening ceremony. And when I look more closely at this head that was put on this woman, you can see almost like a darker chin. It looks like almost like facial hair. I don't know if they're trying to depict a transgender, a transgender man, a transgender woman. Okay, I believe that could be what they're showing. Yet again, another picture showing that kind of stuff. I believe that could be possibly what they're showing there. You've got all the elites, well, not all of them, but a good some of the depicting the people that were invited to this particular ceremony, and there they're going out again. And lo and behold, who have you got in the crowd? Another Baphomet figure. Okay, he's right there in the crowd. They're all cheering. They're all getting ready for the next phase of the ceremony. Then here they are on the outside stage now. They're getting ready for the outside part. And I got to tell you, people, now it gets even more bizarre, even more weird, and more occultic, more evil, I would say. And, another thing I want to mention is that I could have shown some video footage, but I just did not want to, because there was so much of obscene sounds and even languages that I don't even understand. They could be saying all kinds of evil. I just didn't want that to be repeated on my channel, or repeated to you for that matter. I will leave links for the video footage so you can see it for yourself, but I just did not want that to be repeated on the channel or on this video. And you can look at the video footage yourself. Of course, they got again the construction workers or the train tunnel workers coming out again in that zombified state, and then they start showing them climbing this wall, I believe depicting the drilling of the tunnel. You see people falling down. They actually mentioned in a news article that 8 people died in the making of this tunnel. So I think that's quite interesting, as we know that 8, an 8-pointed star, is the star of Ishtar, which designates opening a portal, making or breaking the veil so that the demonic realm can come into this world. So I believe that's what they're depicting here. Of course, you see them all falling, and of course, there you go. The veil is breaking. The rock wall is breaking, I think, depicting the veil being broken. There you go. More stuff, more imagery showing the veil being broken, the tunnel. They want to make it seem as if it's a tunnel, but it's really something else they're depicting. You got them all falling down. Of course, you've got 5 of them. I mean, I think that could be a cryptic message for the 5th age that is coming. And then here it starts to get really bizarre. You've got an 8-pointed star, okay, inside this, this hole, this portal, this opening, okay, that they have, looks like that they have broken into, okay, and right now this star is made up of these men. You can see there's 8 of them here, okay, but it's making an 8-pointed star, all right. As we keep going, then the workers start doing some bizarre kind of dance. They've been doing all kinds of dances throughout the thing anyways, but they just, again, zombified looks, okay. Look at just the looks on their faces are just to me, just totally bizarre. Again, an 8-pointed star, now this time showing the leg and a foot, okay, leg and a boot, again depicting workers. I believe that's all Satan wants to, just the elites and the luciferians. They just want to use everybody as their workers to do the work. You've got the feet, and of course then the hands. So, I think could it be depicting Satan's hands and feet? The Bible talks about the Lord's hands and feet, the body of Christ, but I believe they're depicting the satanic body. The hands and feet of Satan, showing that these are the ones that are behind all this, that they're doing Satan's work, not the Lord's work. Then the workers start disrobing, and seemingly as if they're going to start getting to work, but again, you keep seeing this like 8-pointed star, Ishtar portal opening kind of imagery going on. Then there's again showing zombified states. They start banging these these tools on the ground. But again, you just look at the looks in their faces, just total zombies. Then, the imagery on the screen gets more bizarre. It looks like a portal opening, and something about to come through the portal. Then the workers totally disrobe right down to their undergarments. And, again, there's certain things that I wouldn't show here because I don't want to get to, I don't want to show perverted imagery, but, they disrobe down to their underwear, and then they start literally beating themselves with, with balls or bags of dirt and all this kind of stuff. I believe this is denoting or illustrating a fight, a battle. They're all like kind of, fighting themselves and all this. I believe this could be even symbolizing, world war, conflict on the earth, all kinds of chaos. I believe that's going to erupt on the earth very soon. So I believe this is depicting chaos, a major battle. And then what appears on the screen, this a face of an old person. I believe this is denoting an ancient spirit that is about to come into this world. The spirit of Lucifer himself, an ancient spirit from the garden, okay, the ancient devil that is coming very soon. They all of a sudden become very still. Then they show this rock, okay, there's like a meteor or a rock just, kind of floating around. And I believe that is a depiction of Daniel 2 and the vision that King Nebuchadnezzar had. And when Daniel interpreted it, it was about a vision of a great image. The image was gold and silver, had a head of gold, chest and arms of silver, and belly and thighs of bronze, legs of iron, and then the feet of iron and clay. But it says at the end, and you watch while a stone was cut without hands, which struck the image on its feet of iron and clay and broke them in pieces. Then the iron, the clay, the bronze, the silver, the gold were crushed together and became like chaff from the summer threshing floors. The wind carried them away so that no trace of them was found. And the stone that struck the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. I believe this stone that was cut without hands is the rock, is Yeshua HaMashiach coming to destroy the kingdoms of this world, coming to destroy the Antichrist system, the beast, and the false prophet, and the devil himself. And I believe that's what they were showing in this. They want to depict that Satan is the rock, that the Antichrist is the rock, but he will never be the rock. It's only Jesus Christ, the Messiah. He is the true rock. He is the capstone. The Antichrist will never be the capstone. Only Jesus is the capstone. So I believe that's what they're showing here. Then, of course, you still see this battle. But what's real interesting is you've got these, humans, in their underwear in front. Then you've got these construction workers in the back. But can you see they're fighting? It's like they're trying to hold back these three, looks like spiritual beings, okay? These three beings in white. And as you keep going, all of a sudden they're all thrown away, okay? It's like these three spirits have a victory over the humans, over the world, basically, and they burst forth. Then they rise up, and again, the image on the screen changes to, again, like a spiritual portal or some kind of evil, dark thing, dark hole that is opening up. These three rise up, okay? These three spirits. Major all-seeing eye, Illuminati eye symbolism that's taking place here with these three spirit beings. I believe even the 666 is being shown, as we know that that figures like this look like an eye. 3 ones can also denote the 666 in front of the all-seeing eye that's going on here. Again, portal opening, the eye opening. Then you've got more spirit beings coming out. Okay, so before the humans were fighting to almost like keep this from coming, and then all of a sudden, here they all start coming now. All these spirit beings are coming out of the portal, okay, are coming out of this opening, of this veil that has been broken. And, here you've got on the screen now this character twirling around, doing this particular twirl. And I believe that is, cryptic for what we saw in iPet Goat, okay? Remember there was a part in iPet Goat video where this being was twirling around, again, in this kind of robe. I believe that's what they're showing here. Okay, these people, you got this person twirling around in a robe. Somebody is about to come. And what do you see in the background? The two-horned God himself coming with these beings that have veils over them. And I believe the veils are a symbol of what we saw in symmetry, breaking the veil. They're behind the curtain. They want to come out. I believe that's what they're depicting with these, people showing in the veil. Okay, there you're going to keep seeing this twirling character on there. You're going to keep seeing this Baphomet, image, the Baphomet character that's coming. You're going to see people, there you go, a close-up of these people, behind the veil. To me, I think this is depicting fallen angels or demonic spirits that are behind the veil that are just itching to come out. They're itching to be released. I believe that this depicts almost the restrainer that is still restraining them, which I believe is the Holy Spirit in the church. I believe the Lord is about to take his restraining influence away, and these things are about to be let loose. Again, you can see just the crazy demonic looks on these people. They really did quite the job in depicting all out evil, these evil spirits that are behind the veil, okay, that are being held back right now. But I believe through things like CERN, and even mostly with the Lord removing his restraining influence, these things, all out anarchy, all out evil, is going to be released on the world very soon. Okay, you can see again, they just keep depicting this stuff. Of course, they also have the nature nonsense going on in the background. Then what appears on the screen, this is just, now it just keeps getting more and more evil. You've got the Baphomet character himself with the two horns there on the screen. You've got what you can see here are locusts. I think that that's an illustration of Revelation 9 when the fifth trumpet sounds, and the angel, the star, is given the key to the bottomless pit, and locusts come out of the bottomless pit. I believe these three locust figure, these bug-looking creatures are depicting, I believe, the locusts that come out of the pit. I believe Baphomet, who is Apollo, who is Nimrod, who is Osiris, whatever you want to call him, is coming out of this pit. The beast from Revelation 9:11 that is referred to as Abaddon in Hebrew, but in the Greek is Apollyon, okay, which is a two-horned god. Baphomet, the same character, the same thing that is going on here. Okay, again, you can just see how evil this is becoming. You can see the people still in the veil. You can see, what is about to come. There you go, as these people with the veil, these spirit beings behind the veil keep coming. Then you've got who's behind them, who's marching behind them. You've got Baphomet, the two-horned god coming, Cernunnos, Nimrod, Osiris, whatever you want to call him. And I believe this woman behind him is depicting the bride, or his bride, the satanic bride. He starts dancing around like crazy, doing all kinds of nonsense, looking extremely evil. You can see the look on his face. You can see just how evil this character looks. Again, this is the opening ceremony of a train tunnel. I mean, can you believe what is going on here? Okay, you've got him stomping around, dancing around, doing all kinds of nonsense, making all kinds of bizarre noises. You've got these characters again, these, I believe, fallen angels / demonic beings just behind the veil, just itching to come out. They just want to come out. They want to break through the veil. Again, a close-up of that image on the screen there on the backdrop with the locust figures, the locust creatures in front. I believe this is depicting the pit being opened up and the locusts coming out to torment mankind for 5 months. And then you've got, of course, the angel who is above them, or who is their king, which is Apollyon, okay, that is coming very soon. Again, you've got this character just dancing around and making all kinds of bizarre sounds. This is another reason why I did not want to play you any of the footage, because just if you were to hear the sounds and even the language that is being said, I don't even understand the language. I don't even want to understand it. It sounded so evil. It could be some kind of evil kind of language, and this guy is just yammering on and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But now is when it gets extremely perverted. I don't know if you can see, here's this same two-horned Baphomet character, and they're literally depicting him having sex with this female being right here. Okay, so they're literally depicting them having sex. He's showing him. They literally show him thrusting into her. This from a different angle. They show all kinds of camera angles of this character, this Baphomet two-horned character, this goat character having sexual relations, with this, female character. Then, of course, it's over. And what was even more perverted is that they were playing all kinds of male and female goat sounds of screaming, and literally depicting a sexual escapade that had just taken place. So I can't even find the words to describe how perverted this was, and how they're showing this character, this Baphomet character, all over this woman. Okay, there you go. And the worst part is that they keep showing, there again, more just evil coming out of this guy. But they show the woman really now embracing him. Okay, now he's basically just raped her, or just like had sex with her, and she's like now covering him. She's showing her love and her devotion for him. Now she covers, him, okay, showing like she's fully embracing the devil, fully embracing this Baphomet, this Antichrist, this devil that's coming. Okay, then he like breaks forth dancing, evil, again, more evilness, such evil on his face, just dancing around like a fool, basically, this Baphomet character. All these other, fallen angels / demons are worshiping him. He breaks forth out of there, more evil on his face, all kinds of stuff going on. Then you've got, to me, which looks like the, Satan's church, these worshipers in white, gowns are all screaming and yelling and basically worshiping this guy, and they got such evil looks on their face. Again, I cannot believe this is the opening ceremony of a train tunnel. Okay, and this guy, of course, is dancing around as they're doing this. Just, of course, you got all the nature nonsense all around. You've got this, I guess, this woman that he just had sex with back there. All this kind of nonsense taking place. Then what I found real interesting is that they flash an image on the screen of 13 eyes. If you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 eyes, to me symbolizing the Illuminati. I believe it's symbolizing Satan's church. Okay, so you can see this like crazy imagery of these 13 eyes. Okay, 13 is a big number to the Illuminati. Many of us know that there are 13 Illuminati bloodlines and all this kind of stuff that they're depicting, right, with Baphomet in the middle. Then what's real interesting is that it turns to 7 eyes. Okay, and I believe this is code for a scripture, okay, in Zechariah. If we go to Zechariah 3, there is a cipher that I heard about this on Prophecy Watchers, and I believe it denotes Christ and his church, that he is the stone, because it says here, "Hear, O Joshua the high priest, you and your companions who sit before you, for they are a wondrous sign. For behold, I am bringing forth my servant the branch. For behold, the stone that I have laid before Joshua, upon the stone are 7 eyes." Okay, so there he goes. Upon the stone are 7 eyes. Okay, "Behold, I will engrave its inscription, says the Lord of hosts, and I will remove the iniquity of that land in one day." So we know that Yeshua, when he was sacrificed on the cross, he removed the iniquity of the entire world in one day. Okay, and in that day, says the Lord of hosts, everyone will invite his neighbor until his vine, under his vine and under his fig tree. So Yeshua is the one who is going to rule. He is the rock cut without hands that is coming to destroy the kingdoms of the world. He is the one who is the stone of the 7 eyes. As Yeshua said, "Upon this rock I will build my church." I believe the 7 eyes are a reference to the rock, to Yeshua, also a reference to the 7 churches of Revelation, depicting Christ's church, not Satan's church, but he is perverting that, because Christ is the branch, the servant. I believe even the branches that they cut and worship are also symbolizing or a perversion of the branch, which is Jesus. But Satan wants to be the capstone. He wants to be the branch. He wants to be the stone with the 7 eyes. We know that Jesus is depicted as the lamb, okay, as though it had been slain, with 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent out into all the earth. So this, this to me, what they're showing in this image is a perversion of Christ, is a perversion of his church, is a perversion of the capstone of the Lamb that was slain for all of us. And, even from Revelation 5, we'll see that that Yeshua is the Lamb with 7 eyes and 7 horns. Okay, I believe that is what this is pervertedly depicting, but Satan's perversion of that. He believes he is the Lamb. He believes he is the branch. He believes he is the capstone, but he is not. He will never be. Okay, so I believe that's what this is depicting, Satan's church that is coming very soon. Okay, which, I mean, Satan's church is already here, but I believe his final Babylonian church system, one world religion, is coming very soon. Then, of course, they start singing, and of course, there's a Baphomet character here again, but they start singing. They're in black robes, singing to this character. Yet again, they keep singing about this guy. But then people in the crowd, which I believe, of course, are more actors, they start coming down the aisle. And what are they wearing? They're wearing more Wicca nature nonsense on their heads, okay? More mind control, more, ritualistic stuff. They're all bringing branches and all bringing, all this, pagan, perverted nonsense that is taking place here, okay? There they come again, the branch depicting the perverted, the perverted version of, even though Christ is a branch, the devil wants to, imitate all those things. So here they're bringing all their Wicca, pagan, worship nonsense. And what are they walking towards? What's on the screen now? An upside down tree, which I believe is depicting, Satan's perverted tree of life, or the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And these people are walking right towards the tree, okay, the tree of knowledge of good and evil that Satan used from the beginning to pervert mankind. He convinced Adam and Eve to eat the fruit, that was on this tree. And here these people are walking towards the tree, the perverted tree of life, as above, so below. Of course, they want to depict it upside down because Satan wants to turn everything upside down. That's just the way it is. And then it switches to a party scene. They want to make this seem like it's like a train wheel, but of course you've got the 8-pointed star symbolism, Star of Ishtar, the portal being open, a big party. They start playing party music. You've got 5 workers there, which again, to me, depicting the 5th age that's about to begin. You've got even the pyramid symbolism, them, these things that come up that they seemingly stand on. Again, the pyramid symbol. There you go. The 5th age, I believe, is beginning. They've been changed back to workers because I believe in the 5th age, which is going to be the beginning of the tribulation. All that stuff that's going on. Satan and the elites just want to use everyone as their workers to do their bidding. And then it ends with this crazy, bizarre scene. You've got all kinds of antlers and again horns depicting, being shown on the screen. And you've got this woman that comes out wearing a red robe. Okay, red to me symbolizes blood, symbolizes death. You've got people wearing black, you've got people wearing white. So you've got the New World Order colors, black, red, and white. Okay, symbolizing the New World Order that is coming. And what's interesting about this woman is that she seems pregnant. Okay, so we saw earlier that the Baphomet devil character was having sex with a woman, and they were playing all kinds of perverted sounds depicting that they were actually doing that. And now this woman is pregnant and she's wearing red. You've got the Baphomet character there, in the background, and so this woman is all happy. They're all happy there. You've got this Baphomet character off now with the mask is off, and he's showing, his face. And you've got just more perversions going on here. This woman all happy. Everyone's all happy, in such a bizarre, evil way that this has happened. And so we can see them jumping and dancing for joy. This person is pregnant. I believe this is depicting Antichrist that is coming. And I believe that is the end game, okay, for the devil, I would say. Of course, we as Christians, our faith is rooted in Yeshua HaMashiach. We know that Jesus is the end game. We know that Yeshua is coming. He is the rock cut without hands that is coming to destroy the devil. He's coming to destroy Antichrist, the false prophet. He is coming to destroy the kingdoms of this world. All these luciferian elites, they are not going to have the final say. Okay, Yeshua is going to have the final say. Okay, and I just want to leave you with this, something that I even thought was more interesting is that, I don't know if you've seen this movie Joy. You might be wondering why I'm bringing this up, but in the movie Joy, I found it interesting that she had a dream. She was someone that, liked to make things as a girl, but then she wasn't able to invent things anymore because she got so busy with life. But then in one of her dreams, there was a reference to the girl was saying, and of course in every dream, there's, they're on the Illuminati checkerboard floor. They're all, wearing, seemingly rich stuff that's, depicting the elites. But, the girl, her as a little girl says to herself in the dream that, it's been 17 years. We haven't created anything for 17 years. We've been in hiding for 17 years. And what's real interesting is that this whole project, okay, this Gotthard project, you'll see in the news, if you look it up, they said it took exactly 17 years to build this. And now they're depicting all kinds of evil stuff, in this opening ceremony. I believe something big is coming very soon. I believe this is what it's all about, that the devil is ready for Antichrist to come. The Luciferian elites are ready for their capstone to come. And I believe this is coming very soon. So I pray that if you do not know Jesus today, if you do not know Yeshua HaMashiach as your Lord and Savior, I pray that you receive him today. He is the only one that can save you from all of this craziness that is about to come upon this world. If you are a Christian but you're not really living for him, I encourage you to really, really, buckle down and surrender your life to Christ, to make him the true Lord. He's not just your Savior, he is your Lord. You need to live by his commandments. You need to live by the word of Yahweh, live by the commandments. Jesus said himself that not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, on that day will enter the kingdom of heaven, that he will say, depart from me, you who practice lawlessness. So if we call ourselves Christians, but we are not following the commandments, if we are not being obedient to Jesus, he said that those who love him will obey what he commands. So I pray that if you are a Christian, but you're not really following as you should, I pray that you will really humble yourself and seek Yeshua, look in his word, study his word, study the word of Yahweh, and see, because this stuff is coming, this stuff is real. The Luciferians know that this is coming. In fact, they believe in this with all their hearts. They believe that this is coming. So I pray that even though the fact is being shown very clearly that Antichrist is coming very soon, I believe that even though he's about to be birthed, is probably waiting, I believe that we as Christians, that we know the truth, that we have the true light, that even though these people want to act like they have the light, they do not have any light. Okay, they are walking in darkness, but we are the ones who are Christians. We have the true light of Yeshua. He is coming. He is going to put all this to rest. He is coming to deliver us. So if you are not in Christ, I pray that you receive Christ today as your Lord and Savior. God bless you.